Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I wanted to share something with you that I just began, but I already knew that this was a thing. You see this? These are the honeycomb things. They make them the same as the size that the bees do. But if you aim these at yourself, they have a energy that comes off of them. That's why the bees use them. It's true. It's true. And I put some at my feet of my bed, and I'm basically going to incorporate this into my sleep and dream thing. Now I just got into the bathtub and I put them around there. I still have some in there. I have a bunch of them, and it was pretty awesome. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you're sensitive and you can tell, you do get a good return back of your energy, especially when you have running water over them. I just found this out. I wasn't actually even looking for this. It found me. Now, if you've ever listened to the Viktor Varenikov book, he found some sort of pattern similar on the inside of some bug wings, inside of their wings, some sort of chitin that had a weird pattern. And I always kind of imagined it like it was a like the hexagon from the bee thing, except inside it had maybe another little point coming up. But he used it to make a flying device. And it didn't just fly. It had other weird effects too, but he could put it on like a pogo stick. He had the pattern on the back, and he could just fly around. There's pictures of him in the air. And I believe that he did discover that. Now, he didn't disclose what the bug was because he was afraid that would cause the bug to be killed out. And he's likely right about that, sadly. I was going to watch Dark Journalist first, and I sat here and I listened to the crackling, and I think I'm causing his crackling. I mean, not only did I get good verification that some of the things I was suspecting about myself may be true, I keep pushing forward in it. One of the things I've noticed was sometimes I can be watching a show, and I might get into like an attention fight with the people that are on it. It doesn't have to be live at all, but it'll become like real time, where if I try to look at somebody and I don't think that they're legit, they might avert their gaze or look like they're uncomfortable where they are. And these are very strange things. These are very strange notions. But for me, I've experienced them before. So, I stay in hot pursuit of what the hell may be going on. And now that I have a bigger clue as to who I am, I believe, what I was supposed to do, and feeling, at least at one stage, having done it, it's a great relief. It really is. And it makes life so much more exciting. It really does. Because it's not like it's not like I can say that I overtly know anything that is dramatically different or advantageous to put me in some sort of position other than with myself. And that seems to be enough. But I've had the clues myself. I've seen them and I've noticed it. And some things, I know that you shouldn't be narcissistic and think that, you would even be capable of some of this stuff. But having gotten over that belief and just being aware of the possibility of it, I think was necessary to actually taking some of my power back. And this is coming from somebody that doesn't have his shit together, but to have my shit together is more to me has always been about the quest of life and the purpose for what's this incarnation for. You know what I mean? Sure, yeah. I gotta eat and shit. Everybody poops. not removing myself from the basic, but in my own personal quest, some of the things and notions that I've thought, that I've kept to myself and pondered on, have just continued to be guided and at certain times answered. So it really makes a big deal, especially when you can leave yourself a clue and haunt yourself, or to find that you're the cause of a phenomenon, and for that to have a meaning outside of linear time. That's a real cool thing. Wanted to tell my stepdad, because I had to ask him to be able to put the right pressure on myself. I had to ask him if it would be reasonable to assume that it may be a clue, especially when I thought that the guy was the guy that we've been working for different reasons and shit. It greatly extends your abilities, whatever they are, and your power once you've sussed out what your gifts are and you started to trust yourself enough to do those things. And sometimes those things are just internal things, considerations. Sometimes they're emotions. Sometimes they're the place that you put somebody in your life. It's not all about things and stuff. Sometimes it's just the thoughts and the values that we put on them. A sweet thing done for someone that's in pain is worth a lot. So just because your time doesn't have you clocked in and making X amount an hour doesn't mean that time's not just as valuable on the clock in another way. I've had a lot of freedom to be doing research, discovering, and the stress of not having it completely carefree still is a force to cause the right amount of friction and pressure to move me in the direction that I'm going. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, don't take for granted situations and adversity for your ability to engineer it, because you can. Anything that can be a stress, a strain, It's something random that could happen. You can make all that work for you just by deciding that for your sake, that's the reason, and then push off of it. Like weight training. I mean, you lift weights, you got to have that resistance. It's the same with the mind. You know, we're not in here to have a holiday. So if we're going to learn how to do and be greater things, we have to trust ourselves. And I just wanted to share that because I'm going to start bathing myself in this this golden light frequency from these panels that the bees would normally be building their honey on. I'm going to build my honey of myself. Honey.